Alright, you guys saw the title of the video. Before things do get started, I do want to say a few things. One, for this mock, I'm only going to be doing the lottery, so picks 1 through 14. Two, the way I'm going to be making these picks is it's going to be based off what I would do if I was that team's GM. Third thing, I am going to try to mix things up, that way it's not a carbon copy of my first mock. Then last but not least, there will be trades in this mock draft. But yeah, besides that, make sure to also hit that like button if you guys end up enjoying the video, since it really does help out the channel. And of course, subscribe if you guys are new and, you guys enjoy content like this. That way you don't miss out on any new videos like the one you're watching right now. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get things started. Alright, starting things off with the first overall pick, I have the Atlanta Hawks taking Alexandre Sarr, a center from France. Sarr, I think, will be, and I think he should be the #1 pick in this year's draft. I think at this point, he kind of is the consensus best player in this year's draft. I think most people expect him to go #1. Defensively, he is absolutely amazing, and he's also quite versatile on that side of the ball. Offensively, he does need to iron out his game, but if he can do that, then I have no doubt in my mind that he will be an all-star level player. So that's pretty much all I gotta say about him. Again, I think he will be the #1 pick, and I definitely think he should be. Now with the second overall pick, I got the Washington Wizards taking Zachary Risache, a small forward from France. Now the Wizards are a little bit crowded at the forward spots, but with that said, they could look to trade Kyle Kuzma in the future, and Zachary Risache, he is arguably the best player available in Washington. They could opt to just go with the best guy available at #2. Risache is a very good shooter, a very good defender, and he's a pretty solid playmaker and is quite lengthy as well. He does need to improve his shot creation if he does, want to reach his full potential. But let me just say, if he does that, then I have no doubt in my mind that he is going to be an absolutely great player in the NBA, and he could reach all-star status if he can, improve his shot creation. But even if he doesn't really improve as a shot creator, I think he still could have a role on the Wizards and in the NBA in general as a good 3-and-D forward. So that's pretty much all I got to say about him. Now at the third overall pick, I actually do have a trade. I got the Houston Rockets trading for Mikal Bridges, while the Nets are going to get the #3 pick, a 2025 first-round pick of either the Thunder / Rockets. I believe this is a pick swap, a 2025 second-round pick, and Dylan Brooks. And with that third overall pick via the Rockets, and ironically via the Nets, the Rockets originally got this pick from the Nets, and now the Nets are pretty much getting it back. But with that third overall pick, I got the Brooklyn Nets taking Stephon Castle, a point guard from Connecticut. The Rockets, I think, could look to trade the #3 pick, and there are rumors that the Nets won't trade Mikal Bridges and they're going to try to build around him. But me personally, I think they should trade Mikal Bridges, and I also did want to include at least one trade in this video, and I think Mikal to the Rockets, that is a somewhat plausible trade. So getting into the actual pick itself, though, the Nets, in my opinion, really do need a long-term point guard, and Stephon Castle, he could be that guy, and along with that, he is one of the best players, available. Stephon Castle, he's a really good playmaker, really good defender, and he is pretty good at scoring inside the arc. Now, he does have to improve his three-point shooting, but if he can do that, then I have no doubt in my mind that Stephon Castle is going to be a really good player in the NBA. Now with the fourth overall pick, I got the San Antonio Spurs taking Rob Dillingham, a point guard from Kentucky. Now, I know I took Rob Dillingham last time at #4, and some of the people in the comment section of that video didn't really like that pick due to the fact that he is pretty undersized and he's not a very good defender. And that is understandable, but offensively speaking, he is an electric scorer and he is a really good shot creator along with being a pretty good playmaker. And that is something the Spurs need badly, outside of Trey Jones last year, they didn't really have any good true playmakers, and Rob Dillingham, I think he does have pretty good potential, and, he does provide the Spurs, again, with another playmaker, which is something they need. So, I think Rob Dillingham, again, defensively, he's not that good, but offensively, he could be a very big boost to this team. Now with the 5th overall pick, I have the Detroit Pistons taking Dalton Knecht, a small forward from Tennessee. The Pistons, I think, need to start adding some established talent, and they badly need shooting, along with some forward depth as well. And Dalton Knecht, good thing he provides both of those. He is an older prospect, but with a high floor and a low ceiling. But Dalton Knecht, I think he's a really good player. He's a great shooter, really good scorer, and he gives Detroit some forward depth. And along with that, he has improved as a defender and as a passer. But with that said, I do think he has to, still get better in those areas. But if he does that, then Dalton Knecht could be a really big contributor for this team. Now with the 6th overall pick, I got the Charlotte Hornets taking Reed Sheppard, a shooting guard from Kentucky. But now the Hornets, they need a 2-guard kind of badly, and Reed Sheppard would fill that role pretty nicely. He is a little bit undersized, but he can play the 1 and the 2. And while I do think he can improve as a shot creator, he does have a lot of good qualities about him. Like, he's a really good shooter, he's a good scorer overall, he's a really good defender as well, and he's a solid passer. So Reed Sheppard, I like him a lot coming out of Kentucky, and I think he could be a really he would be a really good pickup for the Charlotte Hornets. With the 7th overall pick, I got the Portland Trailblazers taking Ron Holland, a power forward from the G League Ignite. I know I also took Ron Holland at 7 in my last mock draft, but, the Blazers, they do need some front court help, and I do think Ron Holland would be a pretty good pickup here. He is extremely athletic, he's a really good defender, and he does attack the rim well. He really just has to work on his shooting and his decision making, but if he can improve on those two things, then I think Ron Holland is going to be a really good player in the league. With the 8th overall pick via the Raptors, I got the San Antonio Spurs taking Matas Buzelis, a small forward from the G League Ignite. San Antonio could go in a number of directions here, but I decided to just go with best player available. Buzelis, he is a pretty good team defender, he's a solid passer, and he's a good scorer, and he does have upside as a shooter. And I think Matas Buzelis, he does have a decently high ceiling overall. With that said, he does need to work on some things like his, lack of strength, his ball handling, his on-ball defense, and he does need to recapture his ability to shoot the 3-ball, because in high school, he was a pretty good 3-point shooter, but in the G League Ignite, his shooting wasn't as good. So hopefully he can fix those issues, because if he does do that, then Matas Buzelis could be an extremely good player. With the 9th overall pick, I got the Memphis Grizzlies taking Donovan Clingan, a center from Connecticut. Look, you guys can pencil this pick in here if Donovan Clingan is available. The Grizzlies just desperately need a big man, and Donovan Clingan, I think, is the 2nd best center in the draft, and he's a really good lob threat, really good defender, and he is a pretty good rebounder. So he is a little bit more traditional, but with that said, Donovan Clingan is still a really good prospect, and I think he would be a really good fit on the Memphis Grizzlies. With the 10th overall pick, I got the Utah Jazz taking Nikola Topic, a point guard from Serbia. Now, Colin Sexton was really good in the second half of the year, even as a playmaker, but with that said, the Jazz, I still feel like they might need a true playmaker, and Nikola Topic, passing is one of his biggest strengths. He's really good as a playmaker, and he can attack the rim well and score inside the arc. Now, he did suffer a partially torn ACL, which is part of the reason why he is dropping. But with all that, and he does need to improve his defense and his 3-point shooting. But Nikola Topic is still a pretty good prospect, and even if he does fall a little bit, again, he's still really good, and I do think if he can heal from that ACL injury properly, and if he can improve on those issues, then Nikola Topic will be a really good player. With the 11th overall pick, I got the Chicago Bulls taking Cody Williams, a small forward from Colorado. The Bulls, I think, will start a rebuild soon, and I think Cody Williams would be a pretty good pick, to start that rebuild. He does have solid upside and would be a really good addition to this team because he can attack the rim well, he's a really good defender, he can pass out of the short roll, and he has shown flashes of being a good shooter, as he did shoot well from 3 in college. The problem is that he just didn't take, that many threes. So, that is, I guess somewhat of a question mark with him. Now, he's not that good of a shot creator, and he does need to get stronger. And again, we're going to see how legit his 3-point shot is. But with that said, I do like Cody Williams, and again, he would be a really good pickup for the Chicago Bulls. Now with the 12th overall pick via the Rockets, I got the Oklahoma City Thunder taking Tristan da Silva, a power forward from Colorado. The Thunder, they do need some front court help, and last time I did take Kel'el Ware out of Indiana, but this time I'll take a forward, and hey, it is possible that the Thunder, do grab a center in free agency, like say Isaiah Hartenstein, but Tristan da Silva is a solid all-around player who can shoot, defend, grab boards, and he's a decent scorer as well. He is an older prospect and doesn't really have crazy upside, but he does have a high floor, and the Thunder, again, they need some help in the front court. They need some forward depth, and I think Tristan da Silva, he would be an extremely good addition to this team who, they are one of the best teams in the NBA right now. With the 13th overall pick, I got the Sacramento Kings taking Devin Carter, a point guard from Providence. Now, I did want to pick somebody different here, like a forward, but with how the board fell, I think taking Carter again would make sense. Devin Carter, he's a really good defender, a really good shooter. He's also a pretty good finisher at the rim, and he is a good rebounder as well. And like Tristan da Silva, he is an older player with a lower ceiling, but he does have a high floor. And I do think Devin Carter would be a really good fit on the Sacramento Kings, and he could really help them bounce back next year and make the playoffs. And with the 14th overall pick via the Warriors, I got the Portland Trailblazers going with Tidjane Salaün, a power forward from France. Now this pick is going to remain the same, because in my opinion, I just feel like it makes sense. Salaün, he is raw, but he does have all the tools to be pretty good, as he is athletic. He does have the potential to be a really good defender. He is improving as a shooter, and he's really good when it comes to playing off the ball. So he does need a year or two of development, whether that be like in the G League or something. But if he can, develop well as a player, then Tidjane Salaün could be a really good contributor to this Blazers team. But with all of that said, that's pretty much what I got to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. Again, like, subscribe, do all of that stuff, and check me out on social media. The links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. But without further ado, I'm out, you guys.